Hey everyone, we're here at the Disruption Network studio for our first episode of the Untamed podcast. I'm Chelan, one of the co-hosts with Deana.
Yeah, I'm Deana.
And Untamed podcast. So this is our first episode. It's the full moon today. So we're going to talk about some of the energy of the full moon. We're going to talk about my upcoming Kundalini dance class. And we're going to talk about other events in the local area that you might be interested in trying out. But let's first just give thanks to one of our sponsors, Alabaster and Ash. It's in Rumson, New York. And they're a modern metaphysical store. They have all sorts of cool stuff up there. I remember I walked in, the first time I went there was in the fall for an event. And I just fell in love with the place. It is absolutely adorable. Her products are all hand selected. I got some really cool stuff. I got a crystal crown.
Oh, so the first time you were there was with me?
Yes.
Oh, how exciting.
It was when Soul Reflection was there, and they're coming back again.
Oh, yeah, we did the Galactic Heritage.
Yeah, and that's
class.
where I met
really
Sarah and Lauren for the first time.
I know.
So, yeah, and they're like
her
really...
posse that day.
Yeah,
so.
I did. I met some of my tribe that day for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thanks to Alabaster and Ash. You got to check them out. We're going to talk about a lot of their events coming up. And if you haven't checked out their website, it's listed underneath.
Yeah.
All right, Dee.
And we also have the Herkimer Diamond Miner. It's Magic Mountain Minerals .com is his website. So I met Chris, I don't know, late last year. I saw on Instagram he had made this Herkimer Diamond that he mined, and then he makes the jewelry himself. And I just saw this piece on his story, and I had to have it. So he delivered it to my house, and then I bought a bunch of other stuff that day,
it's
too.
It's gorgeous.
It is. It really is.
He wraps it all, too, really meticulously. So if you check out some of his stuff.
He has land down in the valley, and, he mines his own Herkimer diamonds, and then, procures opals and other stones, a lot of malachite, and then creates the jewelry. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
so I was excited that he wanted to be one of our sponsors for this, first
Yeah, and I think
round.
I saw the commercial if they were watching it in the beginning. So
Great
you can
stuff.
see some of their products.
Yeah, and it's just great to support local. That's why I just love that all of our sponsors are local businesses. And the last one is Renovatio Wellness. I go there for, some skincare treatments. They also do infusions. They do weight loss. She has a whole skincare line there. Andrea's awesome. Mara's awesome. She runs the desk. And I just have such a good time when I go there. I just keep finding more things for them to do to me. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's great. So, definitely check them out if you have some weight loss or, aging issues or anything.
But that's the point of our podcast, is to really start to bring some of the different metaphysical, health and wellness events, some of the services that other people provide. We've been doing a lot of stuff at Roots Yoga, and we'll talk about some of those events as well. Yeah. But Deana, do you want to so the name of the podcast is called Untamed. And the reason I really started to meditate on that word, and we went back and forth about some different names and stuff. Yeah. But, for me, Untamed is that, that wild woman archetype. And I really just started to discover that part of myself, and probably the past 5-6 years, when my awakening really kicked off. And we'll talk more about that. I won't give you my whole drawn out, bio right now, but I'm sure we'll get into it over the course of the next 3 months or so.
Oh yeah, you'll get to know us, I'm sure.
But yeah, it's just trying to dive into that primal part of yourself that can't be controlled by anyone, and finding your sovereignty and that personal anonymity in and of yourself. So, I mean, we have lots of tools and techniques that we use to do that. And we'll talk about energy, we'll talk about yoga, we'll talk about massage, crystals, tarot, oracle, smudging.
Just, so many natural things that are right here that we never kind of tap into. So yeah, I mean, Untamed, it's like a journey in self-exploration, really.
Absolutely, totally.
You know, you don't know what you like, and hey, if this one thing doesn't resonate with you, maybe you're not a crystal person, but maybe you're an oracle person. It's just the point of being able to explore everything and tap into it and see what resonates with you and where you can take yourself with it and how it elevates you.
Totally.
Because that's how I feel when I can touch my microphone.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, the more that I do, I just learn about myself in the process, and it's really cool.
So Deana and I actually met in 2008. So that is 15 years ago. So I was a 28-year-old pregnant woman trying to make my way up the corporate ladder. So we used to wear, heels every day. Remember, Dee?
Yeah.
Even when I was pregnant.
Could we wear jeans on Friday there?
I don't know. We had to dress up pretty much every day. That was when we were in the office, and I would have never dreamed I'd be in the situation that I am now.
Especially me. I was an accountant, so and they're more introverts, and don't.
And then you left DFAS to be a massage therapist. I remember when you did that, I was like, go.
Yeah, it just kept calling me for years and years to study massage therapy. So I did. I left Department of Defense to study massage, and then I ended up back in corporate America after I was done. But I did still massage this whole time. So it's been 10 years that I've been licensed, and
You do lots of other training too, right? Like sacral, cranial,
craniosacral,
sacral. Okay,
sacral, Reiki. I do energy work. I do, like a lot of sports recovery and stretching because I, do personal training too. So I love to kind of get in there and help the athletes and increase their range of motion and, improve their lifts, stop hurting.
Physical fitness, though, that's like a game changer, isn't it? Like when you started to really hone in on your physical body and like what it needed, from a personal standpoint.
Well, that was it. Was that I loved bodybuilding. I was competing, and it seemed like massage was right up my alley because it kind of got me working with muscles, and it was quick. I had already done, I already had a master's degree. I wasn't looking to go to college again and, do this whole thing. So this was like, 6 months. And this is something that I can, would enjoy doing and make money doing. And, that's and it was close enough because I had 2 boys at the time that, they're almost all, one's grown, one's on his way out. But, that's what worked for me at the time. And I really love it. And that's what opened me up to all of the energy work that, I never knew about. How much energetics and crystals and,
this breath work, yoga. I mean, just combining all that together.
It really does.
And finding what you need. So that's what we want to try to bring to the table here is like, it's not a one size fit all. And just because, something works for you today, you might need something different, later on down the road. I went to Kundalini yoga teacher training. I mean, that was a huge spiritual awakening for me. And when the teachers were talking, it just felt, I could hear them through my ears, but I could feel what they were saying in my heart, and it felt so true to me that the energetic frequencies and how I was using Kundalini yoga and breath work and mudra, using your hands to shift the energy in my body, it was just so enlightening to me, and I just saw such a difference in how I navigated everyday life. Like, how do I navigate the corporate world today? I'm a completely different team player than I was in 2008. I'm not competing, I'm not comparing, I'm just, going in there and doing my job today. And I don't let a lot of things get to me like I used to because of my meditation practice. And it doesn't take hours and hours. It takes 5, 10, 15 minutes a day and just getting into your physical body. And so, that's kind of what we're going to do here. We're going to talk about all those cool things, but I did bring kombucha today for our little toast. So we're going to crack this baby open. So we're going to cheers to...
Do you want some, Z?
Sure.
Yeah?
You got to grab a cup over there, Z.
Kombucha boy?
Yeah, let's do it. Get on. So Z, I was on Z's podcast when I was talking about the Embodied event that I had, which we'll talk more about. And I loved it. It was so fun. And I felt like, wow, I only tipped the iceberg of what we could talk about. And so when I talked to Z...
with a red Solo cup?
Yay, there we go. All right, Z.
There you go.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you, Z.
I know.
for doing all of this with us. So yeah, this is like a dream come true. Cheers. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. See, this is why we do things live. No, it's all right. It's okay. You can't see this part, right? Down here, because I hope not. I didn't wear good shoes today. Okay. So this is why we're doing it live, honestly, because we just want to just go with it, right? We can't bleep this out.
We're not perfect by any means.
Yeah, no, you can't bleep it out now. It's gone. No, I spilled my own. I don't even think you spilled it on me. Oh, shit. My, Mike. Okay, back to normal. This is actually, so I don't drink alcohol anymore. That was kind of one of the main, components of like my lifetime change.
There's like a tiny bit. There's like a tiny bit. I think you'll be all right.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me, but it may bother some people that are sensitive to alcohol.
So just make sure you know that.
Yeah,
and there usually is a lot of sugar in it too. So
this one's chamomile, lavender, jasmine green tea.
That's good. I haven't had kombucha in a while.
It's really good, isn't it? It's so tasty.
Thank you.
Okay, so I thought we should do a little cheers. And now I just got wet, but oops. All right, anyhow. Story. Yeah. So what else? Do you want to talk about the full moon? So the full moon actually happened this morning at 12:34.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3,
like
4.
You told us.
It's in Libra.
Yeah.
We did a ceremony last night, which was amazing.
Yeah, Colleen I had just brought this idea to her, I think must have been probably January, and I was like, hey, what about doing a full moon circle event every month? I don't know, I had just been thinking about it towards the end of last year, and then I was driving to Rochester back and forth to do craniosacral therapy, so I was listening to a lot of podcasts. So this one I listened to, it's called HorPod, with Lacey Free is her name. She was said on there, I feel like somebody listening to this right now is going to start a full moon circle. And I was just like, wow, all right, maybe I should. So yeah, she loved the idea. So we started it in January, with the new year. We've been doing, so this was our 4th, and it was just great. I see the same people every month, or they'll bring somebody new with them. It's just been really nice. I kind of look at what's going on in the planets, and I'll write a meditation and I'll pre-record it, and they're out on Spotify.
Yep.
And then I'll come up with a ritual, and we'll just use the energies to channel some stuff. And
it's nice to share with someone, too, as a group, like with other people in the room. I mean, there has been mostly female participants, but it's not closed to people that identify as male or not. It's open to everyone. So that's what I really love about Roots Yoga, is it really feels like an all-inclusive community there that's really starting to bud and grow. And you do start seeing some of the same people.
Yeah,
and then we kind of rotate through doing different classes and coming up with new ideas. Just a different spin on yoga in and of itself. I mean, yoga is amazing in so many different ways.
It's more like a spirituality center.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's got piles of yoga classes, but she's always, open to any ideas we have, just to bring the community together and grow it and elevate each other. And, I'm so grateful for her and her space, and, she'll be on down the road.
Yeah, she'll definitely be on for sure. We'll have to have her on.
Definitely.
Yeah, so she's, I take her 20-20-20 class, so it's like 20 core, 20 flow, and then 20 yin, right? At the end? Yeah. So that's a great class. So it's like, it's a Monday nights, I think. Right?
Mondays.
Yeah, Mondays. So that's a great class if you're looking for something, if you're not, don't want to do the same thing for a whole hour and you want to kind of break it up, that's a great class to take too.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow.
So tomorrow is the flower essence meditation with Jasmine. And so she's going to use different flower essences to activate your chakras. So it will be a meditation with flower essences, using that as a mechanism to start to activate your energetic frequencies, clear out. Maybe it's technically they don't get blocked; they just get a little off balance, right? The chakras. It's not.
Yeah,
really
they might just get stagnant. Or they could be overactive too.
That's true.
I mean, and I'm sure that we can do it. a bit on chakras down the road for some of you that don't really know a lot about it. But, today's just kind of an intro and a big shit show, So,
well, it's been leading up to it. I mean, if you knew the day we had.
Oh, I know, the full moon, we decided to do this, but whatever, it's,
But
it's
the
craziness.
eclipses are coming. So we're technically in eclipse season right now.
Yes.
So we're going to have
420 it kicks off. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah. We've got four this year. The first one, that'll be on the new moon, so they call that a solar eclipse. And we won't be able to see it here. I think it's like Antarctica, Australia, and Southeast Asia, I want to say.
Yeah.
But what happens is the moon gets right directly between the Earth and the sun, so and the moon, it's a new moon, so it has no illumination to it. So it's going to be just like, basically the sun is going to look like a ring of fire. So that's the first one, and then on the full moon, will be my next event on May 5th, which is Cinco de Mayo. It's a Friday. That's going to be the lunar eclipse, and we won't be able to see that one either. But October is when there'll be 4 this year. So the second 2 are going to be in October, and it's going to be on Angelina's birthday, the 14th. That'll be your solar eclipse again. And that one, we're supposed to be able to see it. It said North, Central, and South America. And at that one, the moon's going to be furthest away from the Earth at that time. So the ring of the sun is going to be even bigger than like the one that they're going to see now. So I'm hoping we'll have to get the times of that, closer to October and,
Yeah, and I can't stress enough how nice it is to maybe start taking a look at your own natal chart if you're interested. I mean, I always thought, when somebody asks you, what's your sign, right? You're giving them your sun sign. So my sun sign is an Aries. Deana's a Sagittarius, so we're both fire signs when it comes to our outward expression of ourselves, right? Like assertive, have energy.
Like your ego.
Yeah, like your ego, like how you present to the world. But your moon sign and your ascent or your rising sign are also really critical to, how you navigate your life. And so I have 2 water signs. So water is like really emotional and very, it can be very sensitive. And that's a side of myself that I don't let a lot of people see. But it's been really interesting to start to dive into, what does my watery emotional self need right now? Like, how am I supposed to be nurturing myself during, some of these major transits that were happening? And you can't deny what's happening in the world today and in our own personal lives. And, I believe personally that some of those things are aligned with what's going on in the planetary celestial bodies. And so I do spend a lot of time, listening to various podcasts, reading various articles, taking a look at my own natal chart. And I'm learning about houses and things like that. And I have had readings. I have had some astrology readings. I've had other personal readings with people. But so we'll talk quite a bit about astrology on here, just maybe how you can read your chart. Maybe we can give some examples.
If you go, what is it, cafeastrology.com?
Cafeastrology
if you know, you need to know the time you were born, though, because some of the planets move very fast. So even if, you get the day right, especially like your rising sign, that one moves pretty quickly. The moon moves quick too.
It does. The moon's every couple of days is changing signs.
So if you can find out when you were born, I know like before, I'd say 1978, it might not be on your birth certificate. So,
and there's just little things you can learn about astrology too. Like when the moon goes void, there's times during the day where the moon will go void, and it's not really a great time for getting things done. And so one of the women that I listened to, she was telling like a story about how this boss of hers would constantly have meetings on the days that the moon was void, and they didn't get anything done for 18 months. And she just kept saying like, it's a void moon, and he didn't care. And sure enough, the project gets canceled. And so there are some of these ways that you can start to implement. If you know about it. How it doesn't have to be the whole how you navigate your whole life. It's just one little piece of a giant puzzle. And that's why I think I'm so interested in things like this, because ever since I was at a young age, I was always interested in these things that couldn't be felt, couldn't be seen with the 5 senses, because that's just what's available to us right now. But there's so much going on around us and within us that we can't even recognize. We just don't know, because we don't have that heightened consciousness, that elevated frequency that maybe you potentially need in order to tap into those types of subtle energies. And some of the mechanisms that Deana and I use, like dancing, yoga, Reiki, you know, those types of things can start to help you to move into that more, those more subtler things and start to do the deep healing that's required, because I don't know anyone that hasn't had some sort of trauma in your life. We all just went through a pandemic. So if you don't think you're traumatized from that, you know, congratulations. But I think most of us have some trauma associated with what is going on in the world. I mean, we can't watch CNN. I don't personally watch a lot of the news now. But if you are being exposed to that, or your phones, even the electromagnetic frequencies that are coming from your phones, you know, are altering our aura, our energetic body. So you really have to not only just try to keep your body clean physically, but in a sense of energy too, and all around you, you know, so you're constantly getting feedback from people that you're coming in contact with, and, you know, what are you doing to clear those things out? And, you know, we're not experts, but we have tried a lot of things, and we've talked a lot about it, Deana and I.
You know, we've got our go-to practices. You know, you probably got shungite on your phone. I have shungite on my phone, on my TVs, on my computer. That just helps to kind of absorb or block the EMFs coming off of things. The microwaves. I mean, there's, you know, you could drive yourself crazy thinking about how many things are bad for you. Every toiletry, every plastic cup that you drink out of. But, you know, if you can make little changes here and there just to make yourself a little more protected, then, you know, go for it.
And if you're in your sovereignty too, right? Like you are allowed, you can say what can and cannot impact you. You know, you can put protection around you so that you're not getting that negative feedback, or you're not, you know, accepting in these negative entities or frequencies into your body. You know, I know for me, you know, there's been times where I've had to maybe potentially do things that I wasn't 100% at the time wanting to do with my body. But I did it in awareness of like, yeah, I'm going to allow this thing to happen right now, but I'm only going to allow what is good for me to be activated within me. So learning those sovereignty techniques and those embodiment techniques, because really we can't experience this reality without our physical body, but we're learning so much so quickly. And we're going to do that in the Aquarian age. We're in the Aquarian age, right? So Pluto, is it? That just moved into Aquarius?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but it's only temporary. So Pluto has been in Capricorn for like a super long time and is moving into Aquarius, but just for 3 months. It's like a little 3-month sneak preview of what we're about to get here. So, you know, why we're doing this is because we want you to be able to be grounded and feel safe in this new earth that's emerging, right? Because we have AI, we have technology, there's all these things going on, but we're also human, right? We need to be in nature. We need to be moving in ways that feel good for us.
Yeah. So, I mean, the weather's getting nicer. You really need to be going outside barefoot, be on the ground, be in the water, you know, do
hug a tree, literally, like,
you know.
I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, no, really.
I mean, like, literally
hug a
put
tree.
your hands on a tree and feel the energetic frequency. I mean, we're doing actually an Earth Day event at Roots on the 21st. That's the 21st or 22nd?
No, 22nd.
22nd, whatever day is
the
21st,
right?
Yeah. So whatever Earth Day is, the 22nd, it's a Saturday at 11 o'clock. We're doing a healing circle there, and it will be for Arbor Day Foundation. So it's like a $15 recommended donation. We'll do, if you want to bring a picture of someone you'd like to send healing energy to, or maybe something of theirs to bring and put in the circle, we'll use mantra meditation to do it.
It'd be fun.
And then all the benefit will go to Arbor Day Foundation, because I'm like obsessed with trees, pretty much.
So she's at the Family Fitness Mill.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Family, the Mill Family and Fitness or something like that.
Yeah.
Over
on Main Street in New York Mills.
New York Mills, yeah. But we're posting about a lot of her stuff anyway. So
yeah. Oh, and it's all on my website too. I have an events page on my website. It's allthingsd.com. So D is D-E-E.
D-E-E.
Two E's. Two E's.
D-E-E. All right, so what else do we want to talk about here? Oh, so with Deana, during the pandemic, so that we kind of lost touch a little bit. I came over when Angelina was born, remember? when she was a little baby, and I came over and saw her.
Yeah,
and
so
then,
she'll be 7 in October.
Yeah, and then Deana sends me like a random Marco Polo. If you don't know what the app is, it's like a video chatting app. When during the pandemic,
I just
it got
had
kind of
started using Marco Polo, and I was like, oh, let me find whoever to talk to. So I was like, just maybe she'll message me back.
And we did.
Yeah, sure enough.
Yeah. And we've shared so much, though, back and forth, through our journey of the pandemic and all the things that have been happening in our lives, because that's the thing, like, as mothers and working people and spouses and, mothers and daughters and all those things, we have all these roles, which I'm trying to, start to detach from slightly.
Or just... modify it to
modify
what
it.
works for you.
Exactly.
You're not going to fit in the mold of what society says it's going to be, but you're still going to be a great mom and a great wife. You're just going to, change the perception of what to expect from you.
But if I'm taking out of my day time, for myself, like, so I recognize like what I need as a person, then, and if I take that time, I can give back more, right? So when my mother-in-law is in need, I'm available to help her. If my sister wants to talk, or a cousin or someone that I love, and they're going through a hard time and they want to talk to me, then I can hold space for that conversation. But also setting the boundary and saying, right now I can't, right? That's something new.
And that's kind of what we talked about last night too, with the moon being in Libra, is this balance, okay? So we've got Aries, which is self, and Libra, which is your community and, your relationships with others, and saying, all right, let's find the balance here of maybe I'm not giving enough of myself, maybe I'm giving too much, which... if you don't take care of yourself, the universe will make it so that you can't take care of anybody else. Right. And that's, I had to keep getting that pounded into my head until, I started to really do these things for myself. And Chelan was, the ones like, go to this website, go to that website, listen to this podcast. And, that's just it just blew up from there. And, I'm still doing 1,000 things, but I feel just so much more centered and happy and at peace, and I'm not just, nasty, miserable
no kidding.
that I used to be.
Seriously, but it's like living in gratitude, right? Like I remember we would just always be complaining about our job and going on and on about this and just miserable and that's just isn't putting good vibrations into the world, obviously.
Yeah. No, there's not a lot of complaining anymore.
No.
Like maybe venting.
Yeah, a little bit.
Or just like, oh, this is going on. It's making me, nuts. And then it's like, all right, well, there's a full moon and there's solar flares and there's this and there's that. So it's like, okay, I understand why this is all happening, and I'm not going to take it personal if somebody's, not rubbing me the right way or whatever. And, I'm going to try and be gentle with others too, because of this energy that's affecting me, in a uncomfortable way.
Well, yeah, that's the thing about like Kundalini yoga and meditating and some of these like practices is exercising the neutral mind, right? So I don't have to, you don't have to be wrong and I don't have to be right. And this doesn't have to be good and this doesn't have to be bad. It's just your personal experience, your personal perception. And I have the right to have my personal truth, and it doesn't have to align with you. But it takes practice. Like I couldn't approach every person with absolute neutrality and be like, whatever you're doing is perfectly fine because, that's your perception. And it's practice, right? It doesn't always come naturally, but through, some of the mechanisms like breath work and meditation and, going and taking a bath, different things of ways of clearing myself, I've been able to approach even some of the most challenging things in my life with grace and gratitude, so even if we get confronted with those hard things, losing family members and stuff.
Even go, if you don't have even quiet time, go smudge yourself. I couldn't tell you how many times I'm just lighting Palo Santo through my house, or, I just want to smell it, and it just, it clears you.
It does.
It's a nice reset. I use my whole house smells. People probably think I'm just like a pothead or something. All you smell is just different aromas all the time, but, I'm clearing my massage room constantly and, everything else all the time.
And if you don't like smoke, right? So if you aren't sensitive to smoke, You can use these. They have like these crystal charged sprays, like different types of things that you can just kind of squirt into the air that can also clear your energy as well too. Yeah. And then just moving around, right? Just clearing your using your arms and your hands to actually just clear out the energy in your energetic field that's all around you. I mean, you're basically glowing. Right. And your energy is extending. So like Deana and our energy is like intermingling right now. But, you just go through dance in that free form movement. So the Kundalini yoga class.
I can see your aura.
You can see my aura?
Of course I can.
What color is it?
It's clear.
Clear?
It's like
white. Nice. Oh.
Aura.
Okay, what else do we want to talk about? You talked a little bit about the full moon. Do we want to talk about more about astrology, or should we talk about... We can talk about my Kundalini class.
Yeah. Okay. You didn't really go over that yet, and that's coming up.
Yeah. So that's coming up on the 21st. It's a Friday night. I decided to do it at 7 p.m. because maybe with a little bit of a darker, lighting, people might be a little bit more apt to come out. I would love it if it was like a date night for you and your spouse or you and your partner or friends, go grab a light bite to eat or a smoothie somewhere and then come to the dance class. So it's really about moving in a way that feels good for you. So we'll start out with some really simple yogic moves like spinal flex, just to get the energy moving, just to start to get you ready to embrace the dance. And then we use different types of music to just free form dance. So it's really getting to that place before thought. Like your body is literally moving and you're not even thinking. So it's such an amazing form of meditation. If you can really just get into the music and get into the zone, it's just a very special place for you to be. And you can start to move and clear trauma, raise your Kundalini, which is the life force energy that resides in all of us. And sometimes it kind of gets stuck down in these lower chakras where we are concerned about safety and sexuality and, all the primal needs. And then it starts to move up into the heart, the throat chakra, the third eye, and through the crown. And with this dance, you can actually activate your chakras and then move it so that you're connecting directly with the divine. And so you're having like this moment where you're just in this spiritual experience through dance. I mean, that's personally for me. So the past probably two years, I've really just gotten into that free form, dancing and stuff at home and using mirror work. Just for self-love, just to absolutely 100% love the person that I am. Because, most of the time, especially in my earlier years, I was just constantly giving myself negative feedback, right? I would look in the mirror and be saying mean things about myself or whatever, unless I thought I was feeling myself that day. And then I was looking at myself in the rearview mirror when I was 20 or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But so once you become a mom, your body starts to change, but society has created these really unrealistic expectations for people to quote unquote look like. And so I had to do a lot of work around just embracing my physical body in the state that it was. And then guess what happened? Everything changed, right? I wanted to get physically fit. I really honestly do not crave crappy food anymore.
Yeah.
I'm almost disgusted by it. And, I want to eat healthy. And it's just something that just came naturally after I started to embody that healthy lifestyle. So Kundalini yoga, it's a lot of fun. It gets your energy going. I've been brought to tears sometimes, complete bliss states in that dance. So we did an ecstatic dance. I did an embodied event. I won't go into detail. You can go back and listen to Z's podcast that I did, I think it was February or something.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
DJ was great.
Gabe.
Food was great.
I know, where is Gabe? I thought he'd be kind of hanging out. Yeah.
Next door.
Be on that wall.
Oh, okay.
Knock, knock.
Nice.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, no, the dance was great.
Yeah, that was fun. So yeah,
nobody's looking at the other person. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I had my eyes closed most of the time. I think we bumped into each other once.
Yeah, because I was all over the place. I had my drum. I'm drumming to the beat of the song.
I know. Bring your instruments.
Yeah, bring your instruments.
You know, anything. I don't know. Anything goes with our events. Totally. Just because we're kind of running the show, we like the interaction. We like even on our Facebook group. Yeah. You guys got to throw stuff out there too. It's not just for us. You know, if you've got great ideas or something cool happening, we'd love if you shared that. You know, that's the whole point. It's a community. It's not a dictatorship, you know?
It's not? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, we want to hear
She's
from
the
you
Aries.
guys. Yeah, I know I am sometimes. But we do want to hear from you guys. So if you have a cool event coming up or you went to an event that you'd like us to maybe highlight, or if you offer some of these health and wellness services, you know, let us know. I mean, we're looking for guests on the podcast. If you're interested in that, you know, shoot us a direct message, you know, so we have some people lined up. But we're going to give this like a 3-month, like, trial run. We're going to see if we like it. I mean, honestly,
see if you like us.
Yes, if you like us. It's like a personal
You know?
thing that I'm just trying out. I mean, for me, at this point, if I'm not uncomfortable, like, I'm not comfortable, to be honest with you, in life. Like, I want to be put in positions now where I'm stretching myself into a way that, like, is just different for me, you know? Like hiking or, you know, I like an adrenaline rush. That's just me, personally. So, so trying out new things, right, Dee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times.
Okay, what else we got here? Let's see. Okay, so we got the Earth Day healing, we got the essence, but there's a breathwork one too at Roots, right?
Yeah.
So that is a breathwork with Sally
Is that the
Davidson.
23rd too?
Davidson. That is the 23rd, 11 o'clock, $20.
That's going to be quite the weekend for you guys.
Oh, that's 3 days in a row.
I know.
That's right.
I'm hoping I can make my way.
Yeah. 21st, 22nd, 23rd.
Yeah, so breath work is, you know, I'm starting to learn a little bit about it. I'm working with someone else that I found on Instagram, and yeah, it's just a great way to, it's very hard for me to meditate. So if I just sit there and like listen to somebody guide me, like I can't do it. I can't even listen to my own meditation at the full moon circle.
We listen to it.
I'm like looking around.
Well, I usually get a sneak peek.
It's horrible. Yeah, Chelan already hears it, but ahead of time. But you know, I can't sit there and listen to it. So,
but like,
you know,
how cool was that you did that? Remember the first one you did? You were like, oh, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to record it.
Oh my God!
And then you were like, I don't like how my voice sounds. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
But then you're like, now you're like a pro,
time.
and they're so creative.
Yeah, I love to write. So you know, the writing part is the part that I love. It's, you know, the recording it and getting the background to sound good. Like, you know, I hate that part, but you know, putting the words down is like so fun. But yeah, I've had the hardest time, you know, meditating. So what I find though is with breath work, you have to focus on doing certain breathing techniques. So it will take you out of your, you know, your Walmart shopping list and, you know, what you got to do when you leave there and who you've got to email and all that other garbage that goes on in your day. So I really enjoy it for that. And I think that, you know, it's something that I'm going to definitely explore more. So I definitely want to get to that class because I've never done it like live with somebody, just done it, you know, online.
Yeah, and did you come to my mantra class?
No.
Okay.
I was in dance competition.
Oh, that's right. You were in dance competition. Yeah, so I did a mantra, introduction to mantra class too, which is the same mantra we'll do at the Healing Circle. It's very easy. It's Ra, Ma, Da, Sa, Se, So, Hung. And it's basically chanted. And I play music along with it so you can kind of get into the mood. But I was actually, your voice is specifically tuned for your body. So it's actually tuned to your body to heal your body. So if you're chanting and you're using your vocal cords as a vibrational frequency and you're chanting like this divine, you know, primal sounds, right? Ra, Ma, Da, Sa. And it's a mechanism for clearing energy, moving energy, activating healing within yourself. And then also, I mean, I saw this thing today that said that 1 week, 7 days, that's all it takes. A novice meditator, if they meditate, any type of meditation, I don't know which one they were using here, every day for 7 days, it changes your blood. And nothing is you're not taking in any supplements, any medication, nothing, but your blood is literally changing to the point where it is healing you through meditative practices. So
in the book you're reading?
That's not in the book I'm reading. The Grow a New Body, that's very similar. It doesn't talk about meditation, but it talks about oneness. Okay. So the book I'm reading is Grow a New Body, and it's he's a doctor.
Alberto Villoldo. He's the leader of the Four Winds Society.
That's right. You told me about that book.
Yeah,
didn't you?
yes, I did.
Yeah, you did.
So I have the Moonai he rights.
Yes, okay.
Which are part of the lineage that he brought back from Peru. So.
Yeah, so I read his book. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it really melds science and spirituality in one. Like, you can't just give your body what it needs physically, but if you start to feel that, have those spiritual experiences, and you're getting to that state of oneness, you can actually heal your body yourself, you know, and you can start to alter how your DNA is working, how your cells are regenerating, you know, so you're regenerating cells that are new rather than ones that are damaged, or those, you know, clearing out the free radicals in your body. And maybe we can dive into that a little bit more. I mean, it's quite an intense shift. It's 3 weeks of prep before you can even do the 7-day grow a new body diet. I don't think he calls it a program, because it's not really a diet, but it does include quite a bit of fasting. It does include some supplements, you know, so if you are, you know, thinking about taking supplements, if you have, you know, a doctor, talking with them about that, but it is kind of an intense thing, because and then at the end, it's like a 3-day journey where you basically are fasting for like 3 days.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, just water, basically.
Fun.
But it clears you out of all of the things that you have in your body. And, you know, you're really trying to, I mean, I guess ultimately all of us are trying to release the fear, right? The fear of death at the end of the day. Yeah. Because we're only here for a limited amount of time.
You might as well get rid of that fear, because that's one of the only things that is guaranteed right, in life.
Yeah. So you have a massage business, but it's also, what's the name of it? Tell everybody about what you provide, what your services are.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been around for 10 years, but I kind of, you know, took some breaks because I work, and then I had the baby and COVID. So yeah, so I just reopened Rilascimento in December. It's built right off my house. And
beautiful, you know, space. I love it.
It is. I love it.
So
and there's
cozy.
I do too. You know, it was basically like I wanted to get back into it after, you know, the lockdown was over and all of that, but I didn't really know where I wanted to do that, because everywhere I went or was in the past, it was loud and disruption, and I wanted to be close to home, and I didn't really want to pay rent, because I was only going to do it, you know, part of the time, because I still work full time. So I just, one day, I've been working with an energetic alchemist. Her name is Amy Spicer.
We should talk about her experiences.
She was like
come on
life-changing.
here, actually, virtually.
From Florida.
From Florida.
But yeah, so she pretty much kick-started a lot of, you know, what's happening with me now.
Yeah.
And yeah, after meeting with her, she was like, all right, well, you need to start putting it out there. And then it just came to me that, why don't I just build this here in my house? So yeah, like a month later, it was, you know, done and ready to go. And I wanted to do it my way. So it's like kind of ceremonial. It's not like you walk in, you get your massage, you pay, and you leave, and I never, you know, talk to you again. It's like, you know, you come in and I want to know what's going on with you, and, you know, let's talk about what kind of oils I'm going to use and what kind of, you know, herbal infused water I want to serve you, and, you know, what lighting I'm going to use based on what you're telling me. I'm going to adjust the color of the light in the room. You know, there's smudging, there's sound healing. I'm using, you know, stones and copper and all kinds of different things in the practice, because that's what I love to do. Like, you know, I like massage, but inevitably, you know, I just have this whole, you know, healing
process, right? And it's individual.
This whole healing vision for myself. So it's, you know, it's a little bit of everything. And, you know, I'm used to working on bodybuilders, so there's a lot of deep tissue. So it's not like you're just going to come there and, you know, I'm going to blow smoke all over you and you're going to leave. So, you know, I do the work. I'm sweating sometimes. But,
no kidding.
Yeah, so it's been wonderful. The feedback has been amazing. You know, people that I didn't think were going to, you know, think it was cool were just like, wow, this was like, next level. And, I save some of the comments or the messages people write so that I've got, when I'm having a shit day, I'm just going to go and read all these nice things that people say to kind of, remind me of who I am and, what I can do.
But you really do go above and beyond. I mean, let's just face it. First of all, the room that she has there is beautiful and is so nice. And she has this mat. What is it, a biomat?
Oh, yeah, the mat. Well, it's similar to a biomat. Mm-hmm. This one, it's got, different crystals in it. I think the biomat's just got amethyst. So this has like obsidian, amethyst, jade, and tourmaline.
Yeah.
Red light, PEMF, negative ions. Mm-hmm. So the mat in itself, people just buy those to lay on them and heal. So you're getting that on top of a whole, body work session or energy work session, whatever it is that you want, or a blend. And if you don't want that, just tell me. I put everything on the intake, so you can say, hey, this doesn't resonate with me, check, and then I just won't do it. But if you're like, do whatever, that's what's happening.
But it's an intuitive process for you too, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So like as you start to get in the room with your client, you start to feel the energy and you intuitively move to spaces where you feel like they may need a little extra work.
Yeah,
and you do the pendulum, right? So like even when I went,
the chakras.
You checked my chakra and like my heart was like
spin. Heart is like
boop. So then
I go, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, let's have some cacao. I wore green for like 4 days, doing like heart openers like the whole time.
Yeah.
But you can get it moving again. That's the thing. So I mean, just because even though I practice all the time, like I have a daily yoga and meditation practice and I do other things, it doesn't mean that my chakras aren't going to close down. Mm-hmm. I'm going to see a tragedy on television. It may crack my heart open, but it also makes me want to close down a little bit because it's too difficult for me to watch because of everything that is happening. So, and even in my own personal life, we have things that are happening that, it's sometimes it's easier for me to just, what do we talk about? The trauma response, right?
Yeah.
Fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. I think there might be another one now, but yeah, I mean, those are all types of mechanisms. And then so you, but you have a 3-week like little lull right now. You're not taking appointments right now.
From the 21st until the 14th. I could do energy work that last week that I'm off, but yeah, I gotta heal.
Yeah, you do exactly.
Yeah.
So what else, Deana, do we want to make sure that our listeners know about before we, how long have we been on here, Z? Has it been almost, we got a little bit of time.
There's a clock.
We got about 12 more minutes. So we can talk about, we could talk a little bit about Amy. So Amy Spicer, I had an energy healing from her too, and I'll just tell a really cool story that happened when I had hers. I won't give you the whole long drawn out story, but the story goes is that it was the pandemic and it was done over virtually, and she was a guest on a podcast with Jessa Reed, who I followed, and she was really one of the primary people that kind of triggered my awakening, but my secondary or third awakening, that next level shit. But so she was on the podcast and I had a healing with her. And her stuff is so galactic and cosmic. It's amazing. I just absolutely love it. But the cool thing is my son, Charlie, had gotten home from school in the midst of my energy healing. And I remember hearing him, kind of come in. And then I didn't hear anything else. I went into the energy healing and, I was done. But I come out of the room afterwards and my son is asleep. I mean, he's not going to take a nap. He was like, 11? He must have been 10
right.
at the time. I mean, he wasn't coming home and taking naps.
Before you moved, right?
So, yeah, it was before we moved. Well, before I found the house.
Because she told you what house with the horses.
Yeah, she told me about the house with the horses.
What you were going to talk about.
I'll tell that one maybe another time. Maybe when we have her on. If we could get her on virtually, we could tell her stories about how much
she's amazing. She does like an energy alchemy. So it's not like yoga, but you're in some yoga postures. And that's on Zoom on Sundays at $9. And it's $10. You Venmo her, she sends you the link. Yeah, some people are in their pajamas, but, usually I'm.
She's just such a beautiful soul, too. And she's so authentic with what her offerings are. I mean, she really just wants to help people. It's not really.
Yeah, like I had something weird happen with the radio in my sauna. It was like 5 a.m. and, I was just like, all right, let me see what's going on. I text Amy and then I text another shaman I work with, Brandy, and I was like, why is this on? What, is this possessed or what's going on? And yeah, she gets right back to you and does some stuff, and it's, there he is.
There he is. Number one fan over here. Just kidding. But yeah, no, Amy's great.
Yeah. So yeah, she's like always there. There's always support, and just the work that she does.
Yeah, and she'll support
I can't
you
even
after.
describe it. It's that, intense.
Well, she does like grid work. So she works with her team, which is like her spirit guides, and she connects with my spirit guides, or the person that she is like doing the clearing energy healing for, and then they just get to work and they start clearing things, cord cutting, things like that.
All that like a medical something or other, because she's going in there like,
surgery.
Yeah, she's like doing like energetic surgery on you, telling her team where to go and like zoom in on this, and it's really neat to like sit through a session with her.
Yeah, it is.
And she's very hard to get into, but I'm in a mentorship program with her because I was just at a point where I didn't, I was lost. I was like, I know I'm not doing what I'm supposed to with my life, but I just don't know what to do, and I don't know like which way to go. And just working with her, and then working with some other people, maybe we'll talk about down the road. I just, it just led me, and it just opened up for me, like without me even trying at that point. I mean, yeah, I do the work, but it's not like I'm doing a lot of mental, like, what do I do next? I just go.
Absolutely. Like, that's the key, right? Is like the feeling behind what you're trying to manifest, right? It's not necessarily the thing or the thinking part of it. It's the feeling. Like, what would it feel like if I achieved this goal, or I was able to do the thing that, I perceive myself not being able to do? Like, what would that feel like? And if you can get that feeling down, then, and you forget it, right? Like, let the universe go. I mean, I told a story about the pool last night, right? Yeah. So when I was first like learning how to manifest, I mean, that's kind of a buzzword these days, but whatever, we'll go with that. A pool. Like, I wanted a pool, and I lived in Whitesboro, and I was like, I want this pool. And my husband and I were getting like angsty about it and all sorts of stuff. We were kind of fighting about it and stuff like that. And I was all spun out. I read it in my journal the other day. I went back and listened to read one of my journal entries. And I wrote it on a little piece of paper. I'm like, pool, right? And I put it on my mantle, which was my like quote unquote altar at the time. I had my session with Amy in the midst of it. And instead of getting a pool, I got a new house with a pool, like 8 acres. So if I let go and I just say like, this is the thing that I want, but if I let the universe actually give me something, then it's usually better than what I imagined it to be.
Control the details. Just,
going with it, yeah.
You have to know that your higher self and, the divine is going to, put you where you need to be, give you, what you're meant to have.
Yeah. And we had a setback. So I move into this house, right? And the pool liner goes. Remember when it all sunk down? So we right out the gate, we had to put a pool liner in.
Everybody's pool liner went that year,
So it
though.
was like crazy. It was just like one thing after another. But then if I go back and read the time that I had to go through those difficult challenges, and be frustrated with like how reality was interacting with me, you just learn so much from those types of things, and then you can put them into practice later on when you're like, okay, I'm not getting what I want, but then you just trust that you're going to get something potentially better than that.
Yeah. Don't limit yourself, pretty much,
Yeah. All right, want to pull a card? Let's just pull a card for the hell of it. All right, we're going to pull a quick card.
Chelan does this nonstop.
This is what I do.
She has more decks than the store, I think, at this point.
I know, but didn't you give me one for my birthday?
I did.
Why didn't you bring it tonight?
Oh, crap, because I forgot I got it for you.
We're not even going to see each other. You're going away. You're ditching me for my birthday. I took you out to Modus.
Do you want to come
to
Myrtle Beach with me?
Yeah, I do want to come to Myrtle Beach with you. Can I?
Yeah, come on.
I'll go. Don't tempt me.
4 a.m.
Is Phil watching? Oh, good.
All right, Phil, Chelan's coming to Myrtle Beach
Let's
with
see
me
what
and
the
Angelina.
cards have to say about Myrtle Beach. Let's see what the cards have to say.
Thelma, Louise, and Angelina.
Oh, here we go. What's this one?
Scary.
Oh, look at the horse.
King of Acorns.
King of Acorns. Optimism and innovation. So there's that one. You hold that.
I'm optimistic that Phil will be innovative in his approach to watch the kids all week while Chelan
he'll
is in
just
Myrtle
order
Beach.
takeout and watch Mandalorian probably. I don't know. That's pretty much what goes on in our house.
Sorry, ladies, he's taking.
Yeah, he's taking. He's making some breakfast sandwiches right now.
Jill says you have to take my mother with you.
Yeah, is that what he said? No, I'm good. I'll just stay home.
All right, time to sign off.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
No.
Okay, one more card. Let's see what else we got. Oh, we got a couple here. Let's take them. Okay, so we have the love, choice and trust. So this is like two wolves. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a wolf pack. So, number 6. That's the number.
This one doesn't have a number.
9 of feathers, perspective and self-empowerment. Boom, porcupine. Want to get pricked? Come closer.
I'll keep this one.
And then the Queen of Feathers. Oh, this is the bat. So the bat is so cool. It's like attraction, right? So like the bat can see in darkness, and is attracted to less sonar, right? So really tapping into that like subtle perspective in order to find the food that they want, right? Perception and truth. So this is like a throat chakra. I've been opening mine up today. I got my.
So people might not even know what you're doing right now.
Oh, okay,
though.
yeah. Explain it to them, Dee.
So, I mean, I'm sure you've heard of tarot cards, but there's also oracle cards, which are basically just other pictorial, guides, pretty much.
This is a version of tarot. So instead of like
So this is a tarot deck?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because
it
queens
uses
and
different
nines.
things. It's
Yeah.
like acorns, feathers, shells, and crystals.
Yeah,
but it's still.
So then, you can pull a card or you can do a spread, and there's a little guidebook that can kind of give you a description and, some guidance of, how to interpret it. Maybe, and I don't know, some of them have it like, all right, well, now do this.
Yeah.
Like I have this Sacred Geometry Activation deck, and it'll be like, all right, well, try doing this to kind of incorporate the card into, whatever you're supposed to get out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll even pull cards before like a work meeting, like one for me, one for the person I'm meeting with, kind of get a vibe. I'll hold different crystals like during my work meetings. I think I have a blue lace agate in my pocket right now for my throat. But yeah, so those are just some ways that you can start
quartz.
to use some. Yeah, I mean, so there's tarot, there's spreads in the back. You can do that, and then you can just read the book. I use this every day. So part of my journaling process, I journal every morning, and it's usually just a page, and it's mostly just what is going on in my life. I just get it all out. Sometimes I'll write like 3 things that I'm grateful for. If I'm in a miserable mood, I'll have to write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. If I need to, I can also write down 3 things that I want to do. And sometimes it's call my grandpa, drink more water, just like simple things. Because I mean, sometimes it really does get down to that. Like I can be in such a mood sometimes that I'll have to just do what the minimal, But every morning I pull cards. And then I write a positive affirmation based on the energy of the card, and then I try to embody that throughout the day. Yeah. So maybe I'll bring some of them in next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll bring a deck every time.
Yeah, that activation.
These ones are really pretty.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, they're just so
beautiful.
beautiful.
Birthday deck.
My birthday deck.
You probably have it.
What is it? Don't tell me. I like surprise. I don't like surprises, but I do. All right, so let's just run through our sponsors one more time.
Yeah.
You go first, Dee.
All right. So again, we want to thank Renovatio Aesthetics and Wellness, the Magic Mountain Minerals, and Alabaster and Ash.
Yeah, and Alabaster and Ash. And maybe we'll do some live events too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Freya Fest is in August, so we definitely want to kind of show up there. Last year I went. You didn't go. I don't think, right?
Well, I wanted to mention about Alabaster, too. So on May 6th, they have Red Room readings. So when we went to the Galactic Heritage, they have a little room where they'll do tarot readings. It's called the Red Room. But I think if I saw correctly, that might have been sold out, actually. I think it did sell out for the 6th.
She does it quite a bit, though, because I put it on my site like more than once.
Okay, yeah. So if you want a tarot reading, I think it's like $30 for like $45 for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So you just go in and you get your reading. And then there's the Merkaba Crystal Grid Oracle Card Workshop with Soul Reflections. So that's Nadine Swigger.
Awesome.
She's a certified crystal healer. She's also she's a galactic healer. So she taps into some different galactic ancestral entities and energies, and she uses those as part of her healing practice. So I think she'd be really cool to have on. She's local and she makes her own decks.
She's really cool.
Yeah.
I think she's out in Ilion.
Yeah.
At that silver trading, I want to say it's called.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name.
So that's on the 29th.
Forgive me now, because I'll tell you, I don't remember anything, so I screw up everything I say. But
All right, so Alabama, so we'll be back on the 27th is our next episode. We may or may not have a guest, but what we will potentially have at that time is our theme song. Should we tell them who's writing it? Yeah, Jay Schnitt is going to be writing us a little theme song. So I asked him if he had any gigs coming up, and he didn't answer me. So Jay Schnitt, if you are listening to this or you listen to it in the next time, maybe you should post when you're going to be playing and where so that people will know. But yeah, he is such a cool singer-songwriter. I've seen him a million times, and he has such a creative way of coming up with the lyrics for his song, and it just came to us the other day. We're like, let's have him see if Jay will write us a theme song. So he's going to do it. So I'm super excited. Maybe he could come and play it for us the first time.
That would be nice.
Oh my God, we're asking too much probably at this point, but all right. So let's end this. How do you want to close it out? What's going to be our ending? Get an ending phrase like get untamed or like got. No, but we hope you enjoy this. I know we'll probably get some views afterwards. And share it if you can, have people join our Untamed group because we're posting there a lot. We're actually trying to go live from events and stuff so that we can highlight things. And, we're just getting used to this. We don't even know what we're doing, really. So we're just getting used to going live and doing reels and, all of this stuff. I think my kids could probably teach me a little bit more. But please share this. Our stuff.
Subscribe on YouTube. You can do the bell and get the notifications when we're, out there. I think my 6-year-old threw that on one of the live we did.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget to hit subscribe.
Oh, yeah, don't hit subscribe. All right, well, you guys have an awesome full moon, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Good night.
All right, bye.